Hey, my quilty friends! I just released my latest quilt pattern, the Berry Trifle quilt pattern, and it really allows the flying geese to take center stage in your quilt. I thought this would be a perfect time to talk about the most critical points in a flying geese block and how to get them. Do you struggle with getting perfect points in your flying geese blocks? Would you like to know the exact spots to concentrate on when you're making your flying geese blocks so that your quilt turns out as beautiful as you want it to be? I am here to teach you exactly where you need to concentrate on in your flying geese blocks to make sure that they look sharp and skilled. Hi everybody, my name's Ladine and I'm with Sugar Stitches Quilt Co. and I'm bringing you another flying geese tutorial today to make sure that you are confidently constructing these quilt blocks. So let's get started on today's tutorial. In any quilt pattern, if you're cutting off the points of your flying geese, then you most likely won't be happy with the final outcome. That's why I thought I would make a video about the exact spots that you need to focus on when making flying geese and sewing them into quilt blocks. You can use these tips that I'm going to give you today in any quilt pattern, whether it's my new Berry Trifle quilt pattern or any other quilt pattern that uses flying geese. If you are interested in making the Berry Trifle quilt pattern, then I have a link to the shop in the description below. Let's get started with our tutorial today. First things first, flying geese blocks are a popular patchwork design made up of triangles that create a unique shape. Flying geese blocks have a critical ratio of 2:1 in that the width is double the height. You will typically see the common sizes like 2 inches by 4 inches, 3 inches by 6 inches, and 4 inches by 8 inches. Also, before I can show you how to get perfect points on your flying geese, we need to talk about the importance of the geese being the proper size and having proper seam allowances. If you don't, then you've already gotten off to an unfortunate start. That's why proper trimming of your flying geese blocks is so important. If you need help with making flying geese, I have 2 videos that you may find helpful. I've linked one here for you, but also they're both listed in the description below. One shows you the 1 at a time method, and the other shows you the 4 at a time method for making flying geese blocks. In both of these videos, I review how to properly trim your flying geese. So if you want to stop and watch either of those videos and then come back to this one, that might be the best way if you're uncomfortable making flying geese blocks. The critical step in trimming flying geese is not to just trim them to a certain size, but to make sure that they are the right shape and also that you have at least a 1/4 inch on the top of your block. And then you also need to ensure that you have a proper diagonal match in the bottom 2 corners. While you can use any regular quilting ruler to trim your geese, a specialty ruler like the Creative Grids or Block Lock rulers make this process much easier. So now that we have the basics out of the way, let's get to the important parts of our block. Identifying these key areas in our blocks is so important so that when you do begin to sew the blocks onto other pieces of fabric or into your quilt, these will be your focus areas as you sew. Now let's start with the top point. As I mentioned, we need to make sure that we have at least a 1/4 inch seam allowance on the top of your point. Do you ever have blocks where your point is cut off and you can't see this nice point? The good news is this is the easiest problem to solve. It's typically caused by 1 or 2 problems. You've either not allowed enough room for your seam allowance when you've sewn your block to the next block, or you've just simply sewn too large of a seam allowance that cuts into the triangle portion of the block. So to know exactly where your seam allowance needs to be, we need to flip the block over and look at the back. As you can see, when your stitching lines intersect and come to a point and cross each other in this top section, this is the point that we want to look at. Again, translating that to the front, you can see that that intersection of seams on the back is what makes the point of your flying geese. Let me show you in 2 blocks that I've sewn together. I've used a red thread so you could see this a little bit better. But you can see as I was sewing these blocks together and coming down to this critical point, this is the most important point in your block. So when you're sewing your block to something else, as I was doing, your stitch line should follow right along here and ensure that you are sewing just above the intersection of these seams so that when you press your block open, your point will be perfect. So if you're cutting off that point, take a look at your seams on the back and see where your intersection comes together. I had the original 2 sewn lines, and then when adding my next block, that line needs to be above the intersection of those sewn lines. Always keep an eye on this area and make sure that this portion of your block is facing upward as you're sewing, as opposed to sewing on this side. I would flip it over and sew on this side so that I can watch this point as I'm sewing. So you may be asking, what if I can't have the block facing upwards? Well, I have a simple trick for you. Place your blocks right sides together as you would be preparing to sew, and then take any pin and put that pin right through that point, that intersection point that we were referring to earlier. We're pinning through both pieces of fabric that are right sides together. Place that pin directly through there, flip it over carefully, and then I'm going to show you just at an angle so you can see how the pin is sticking up. Be very careful, but now you know that your stitch line cannot be any lower than where this pin is coming through. And then what I like to do is take a pen. This is a friction pen, but since it's the inside of your quilt, you could also use a pencil. Just make sure you're using something that doesn't bleed through your fabric. And then just put a small little mark in that area and then remove the pen. And then as you take this to your sewing machine and you're sewing, you've marked that spot that you know you have to hit even though you can't see it on the opposite side. Now that we've talked about the top point of our flying geese block and how to make sure that we are sewing in the proper spot to preserve that point, let's turn our attention to the second area of concern, and that's the side of our block. You can see here where I've sewn these together, I have a nice intersection to form the points on the side. You want to make sure that your flying geese blocks are trimmed so that you have an exact diagonal line in the corner of your block. Then when you sew this to something else, as I did here, that diagonal line will be maintained. Now, once we decide that we need to sew this edge of our block into something else, then again, we need to look at the intersection of sewn lines. So we'll flip the block over, and then here you can see, because I've pressed over those areas, it's a little bit more difficult to see. So I'll just pull that back for you, and you can see the intersection of the lines, and that is where our point comes from. So if you were sewing this block to another piece of fabric, you would want to make sure that you are stitching right outside of that intersection of lines. So again, this is a little trickier because depending on how you're pressing your blocks, you may be covering that spot up. I don't want to press my seams in this direction. It makes it even bulkier if you press down towards your flying geese. So it's usually best to press upwards or press them open. But no matter which way I press, I'm still covering up that area of focus that I was referring to with the intersection of my sewn lines. So we would just simply do as I showed you before. Let's say, for example, I wanted to sew this flying geese block directly onto these two. I would place my fabrics right sides together, and then before I do any sewing, flip your block over just as I showed you before and open up that seam and just fold it back with your fingers, making sure that everything is lined up. You'll again take a pin and pin right through the intersection of those seams and make sure that it goes straight through, that you're not shifting your fabrics or moving anything. Showing you from this angle so that you can see, but essentially what you want is this view. And then take a pen or a marking tool, just mark a little small line, a little dot right in that area where your pen is coming through. You can carefully remove that pen, place your seam back where it was, and you can even use that pen to hold your seams together. As you're sewing, you'll want to make sure that your seam is going through that marked line. And that's because we're sewing blindly from the opposite side of the block. So there you have it, the secret to perfect points on your flying geese blocks. I hope this was helpful to you. And again, remember, don't just take your blocks over to your sewing machine and begin sewing. You're sewing blindly and there's no precision in that. Identify the areas of a block, whether it's a flying geese block, half square triangle, anything where you have intersections of seams coming together that you want to preserve the points. Identify those areas. Don't be afraid to mark on the back of your fabric as a sewing line reminder, and planning your sewing before you actually do it. So follow these tips and your quilt blocks will look so precise and impactful like flying geese should be. Are there other issues that you struggle with flying geese blocks? Drop me a comment below and let me know what your struggles are. I'd love to hear about them. And if you decide to make my berry trifle quilt, make sure and tag me on social media because I would love to see what you made. I hope these tips were helpful today. Thanks for watching and happy quilting.